What DOA does is it makes the data available, in a sense, in bulk. And then people take it from around the country, and there are, of course, major companies that use this, from AccuWeather, the Weather Channel, and so forth, and they modify that, change it, and put it into their own form. So his thought was, there's so much data in NCHS and in the department. It's really focused more on the department than us, because our directive was to get the data out. Just look at the enormous amount of data in CMS, for example, data in NIH, and elsewhere, in FDA. How do we get it out? Let's make it available, in essence, in bulk, okay? And bring the private sector in, okay, to transform that data into usable applications. So this was the sort of conceptual bullseye here. It's not supposed to be target. This was where we have the data sources coming into this. We have innovators who develop applications, and then we have the end users, which of course is in essence all of us, and then this feeds back. This was the core of the Community Health Data Initiative. And on March 11th, he brought together a bunch of his closest friends, like Microsoft and Google and Healthways and Intel was there. A tremendous, really a number of companies came together, and were on one side of the room, so to speak. And on the other side of the room were the data people. Okay? I was a data people. And despite my engineering background, I was still a data people. And we met at the Institute of Medicine, on National Academy of Sciences, on Constitution Avenue, and it really was like a rally, okay? And that picture on the front, which was of the secretary, Harvey Feinberg of the Academy, the Institute of Medicine, and Bill Corr, the deputy secretary, was taken there. And the YouTube from that meeting is on the web. And just Google Community Health Data Initiative. It's really worth your time to take about an hour and a half and look at that YouTube video, because it's really going to give you, I think, a glimpse of what the future is going to be like. Well, this March 11th meeting posed a challenge. The challenge was to see if these technologists could develop meaningful applications in just a few months, okay? And the secretary would hold a meeting on June 2nd, okay, in which the applications would be displayed. There were some of us who were a little skeptical about how long this was going to take, given how long things do seem to take. But in fact, we were really quite wrong. On June 2nd, it was a terrific meeting, okay, with the secretary, Harvey Feinberg, and that's Bill Corr, in the inset, displaying or leading off and having a number of companies display the applications. I won't go through all of them. I'm just going to give you a couple that I think are really significant. One is an application that had already been in development, to be truthful about it, but it was a dashboard for Sonoma County. And this same dashboard with modifications is in use in Hawaii and Arizona and elsewhere. And it really is displays community or county information drawn from national and local sources in a very compelling way. It does raise a question for me, though, that I think should be discussed, which is, how is that information actually used, and does it really change decision making? It sure looks good, and it is, I'm sure, valuable in terms of giving people a greater understanding of the health status of Sonoma County. But the thing is, how does it really get used? Okay, so we can come back to that if we have a chance. Another application was from Microsoft with Bing, which, and many of the applications were like this, were mashups. Mashups are where you take one data set, you take another data set, you bring those two things together, and it turns out they're much more valuable than either one taken separately. So this one brought hospital search, a hospital search function, in Bing together with the CMS newly developed website that allows you to compare hospitals. And there it is in the circle. And then another one was called Asthmaopolis, which is really a different sort, and yet it's still IT. What this does is this meshes IT and GPS with tracking asthma. Whenever anyone uses, they put this device on the top of their inhaler. Whenever they use the inhaler, it records where that actually took place. Okay? That then can be turned into a map, such as the one you see here, okay, which shows where this took place. And I hope Howie Frumpkin is listening to this. This can give you an idea of when and where people are needing to use their inhaler. Okay? So it's a wholly different type of application, at least than the one that I would have thought of to begin with. And so from that came a department initiative to make this a significant piece of the department's open government plan, okay, to explore, engage, enlighten, and to produce and to emphasize the dissemination of the wealth of data in the department. And this is just a partial list of the types of data that are available within HHS and data that you can get to through this additional site. We're starting to have too many sites, I think, actually, called healthdata.gov, okay, which enables you to get at all of those types of information and those tools, such as, for example, CMS's Hospital Compare. And this box in the upper right with the two people is a focus on the core of this, which is this health indicators warehouse, which we in NCHS developed. And this is what the website looks like for this. You can search by topic, by geography, and by initiative. And the goal of this is not to look up individual indicators, although you can do that. And I don't have an example of that, but you can do that. So for example, I could look up smoking and I could get an indicator, a set of indicators on smoking, on disability, variety of things. The focus is really to bring the data together in a way so that developers can use it. And there's a facility here to be able to download it through APIs, it's called, to developers. This went live on the 21st of this year. So where are we going now? Well, the Secretary has another challenge, okay? And this one is to go viral to improve health. And this is in collaboration with the IOM and the National Academy of Engineering. Okay? Sort of brings me back to where I once was. It's called the Health Data Collegiate Challenge. But it's a challenge not just to collegiate teams, but it's to put together, and this again, this is available on the website, it's to have teams band together, come together to use data from the warehouse to come up with new applications. And if what happened the last time is any indication, I think the results are really going to be terrific. The deadline to apply for this is soon. So I'm sorry this meeting wasn't a month and a half ago, but there's a major meeting like the one that took place in June 2nd at the NIH, and I really encourage you, if you can get to Washington, get to Bethesda on June 9th to be there. It's going to expand beyond the other meeting. The other meeting, I think, there was room for 300 people. This is 500 people. And it's going to be a demonstration of a variety of applications.